This is your girl, Jamie Reed Poetry, host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, Jamie Reed Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedirtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty. What is going on, everybody? I'm Jamie Reed Poetry. Sorry about that. I had a coughing fit just a second ago. I'm Jamie Reed Poetry. I'm the host of The Dirty Pleasure Show and the owner of Dirty Words Apparel. You can find Dirty Words Apparel on dirtywordsapparel.com. I rarely say the website, so I wanted to say that this time around. I've got with me back my host, Brandy.
I'm Brandy. I'm the co-host of The Dirty Pleasure Show and the owner of BK Pleasure Palace. I am your independent bedroom candy consultant. And my headline is my website, and I'm ready to get started. Basically, continuation of what we did the last show. That was really good. Yes, very, very much so. And we have back with us our guest, Mel, who had a lot of feedback, I will say that, not audio feedback, but rather verbal feedback about the topics for yesterday. So the way we wanted to kind of spend this episode is to talk about what we did wrong. So we did X's and Y's yesterday. And we did kind of like what flowers we wanted to give them for what we learned and things like that, so forth. This time we want to dig into the nitty gritty, or as we call it, the dirty side, if I can talk, the dirty side of the pie. I don't know. I'm just saying that because I was messing with that word earlier and it messed with me. Anyway, the dirty side of, us. In terms of what we need to clean up, not the grown and sexy dirty side, to be clear. So we wanted to talk about, are we ready to be in the next relationship, but the healthy relationship, the wholesome and healthy relationship? Are we truly ready? And this is something that I think women have to be honest with and answer ourselves, because if we don't, we're living in an illusion if we think we don't have anything that we need to fix before we go into our next relationship. So with that said, I'm going to dive into some questions, and you all feel free to add to it. Feel free to add your own questions to the mix or whatever. But my first question is, are we qualified to be in the next healthy relationship? Because we say we want healthy and wholesome. We say we want somebody who does this, and that, and he got to have this, and this, and that. Our checklist of things, right? But are we ourselves qualified to be in a healthy relationship? That's what we really have to think about. And I think that means we're asking those questions like, how do we communicate? How do we listen effectively? Are we listening to argue? Do we have to have it our way? All those different kind of things. So we want to kind of talk about communication style. Brandy, do you have a negative or unhealthy communication style, do you think? Yes, I do. Because one, I'm not going to say what I fully need or want because I'm a shy away. Because one, I think you're going to blow up at me if I tell you. Two, in my mind, sometimes I feel like
you should know why I'm upset and why we're arguing. So I'm not going to tell you because you should know. And three, sometimes I'm just so frustrated. Instead of just voicing what's wrong with me, I just shut down, and have this attitude. Or I keep, like I said, I'm a very tick, tick, boom type person. So after a minute, I'm just going to go tick and boom. And then it's just a whole mess from there.
Man, that's so real and transparent of you to say. I want to say that because I think when we can identify that of ourselves, that says we know this is something we need to correct. But now the healed version of us is healing, right? So why expect that you're fully over that, fully understood, fully corrected? You know what I mean? It's a work in progress, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think it's always going to be a work in progress. I don't think you just eventually one day do all the healing work or look at yourself, do the work on yourself, and then all of a sudden you're not going to have these issues anymore. Like, that's unhuman-like. You know what I mean? So you got to learn how to, first of all, how to effectively express yourself, and again, understand your partner's method of communication as well, because that's where you guys really understand, can we work past this? Or, maybe you just don't fix it, and it's still, you tried. But I think, I don't think there's always going to be a fully healed version of yourself, but if you want better, you're going to do better. Not necessarily saying you were the sole problem, but you're going to work on what you know you did wrong to work towards that healthy relationship.
Some women aren't accepting their shit, though. We have to be really real about that. Some of us aren't accepting that we were the problem. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some of us aren't, and I'm speaking for, I would say the last relationship I was in, I would say we grew out of the relationship, meaning it didn't grow where in my mind, it didn't grow where it should have grown to. In his mind, it wasn't growing to begin with, so that's another conversation another day. But in past relationships before that one, I think I was the problem. Like, I was the shut down communication type. I get so angry that I don't feel like I'm heard. So then I don't communicate. And so I know aspects of that I've worked on to correct. Mm-hmm. But Mel, let's talk about you. What is your communication style?
Well, in the past, I was like the pop-off queen, like firecracker. You say something to me, I'm calling you out your name. I don't want to talk to you no more. You stupid, you dumb. I was like crazy. But now, I know that it was not effective. It didn't get anywhere. And then it comes to a point where he didn't even want to talk to me because, oh, she gonna pop off. So I had to learn, when I feel tense or emotional, I need to take a step back and analyze the situation. I had to control myself and then come back and be like, okay, what's the problem? Calmly. That's what I had to do with myself. I had to correct that. And then I got more communication out of him because I have to think about him to get the stuff I need out of him.
Right. No, I think that's really that's a great point, because I can be so. Let me see. I can be aggressive in my communication if I'm being really brutally honest. So I have to. Okay, so not aggressive to the point where it's like, nigga, do this, do that, nigga, do this, do that. Not that.
Yeah.
But the type where it's like I'm very stern about whatever it is I'm saying, and I'm very passionate about it, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm also not necessarily effectively reading my mate, because you deal with different guys, right? And something I've learned in past relationships, some of them aren't accepting that a woman is in a leading role or has a alpha personality, something like that. Some guys aren't ready for that. And I've met some alpha males that are not ready for alpha females to be in the picture. And it, excuse me, and it kind of shows. And there's a combativeness that I've ran into in past relationships. And I'm learning that I need to read the situation with who I'm with better. Not necessarily read the person like I know them front to back and all that kind of stuff, but read the situation, because I think every situation is different, and that's something that I had to learn. Not everybody is trying to hurt me, use this, use that against me, that kind of thing, because my communication style would change.
Yes. And I'm gonna add to that. That was one of my biggest issues, when I would just automatically assume you should already know why I'm mad, because certain people I dealt with before would do shit that knows what would make me mad. And so then I dealt with that enough where I just felt like every time after that, you did that to piss me off. You knew why the fuck you did that. When they're really just like, all I did was just say bye. Like, what?
Yeah.
What's the issue? But yeah, that's a big thing. It's like, you got to remember, not everybody is really out to hurt you.
Right. And then that takes
a lot.
It takes a lot. And I think there's also the thing that we need to be aware of, that every relationship we will have some kind of baggage. And we need, like, I'm not a serial relationship person. Now that I'm getting older, I can say I've had a few relationships that were serious, but I'm not a serial relationship person. And when I say that, I think people just kind of assume, oh, so you just date. No, I don't, because what I've learned of myself is I'm a I don't want to say hard loving female or woman, but like, it's kind of like that song, if we locked in, ain't no switching up. Like, I feel like that, right? So one of the things that I've had to remember is that people are capable of growing into or out of something, right? So what, like in the last show, I said something and I wanted to correct it, because I was like, yo, you gotta really make sure you're representing that situation, that side of it well. And what I want to say is, when I said that my ex, you know, felt this way at one point, and then he switched up on me, and then he said he decided, you know, that this doesn't fit his needs anymore, whatever that was, you know, then my thing was, well, it started off like this, you knew this, you knew that, and then you changed how you felt, but you didn't let me know, you wouldn't let me know, and I knew a long time ago that I should have gone when that indecisiveness was kicking in. But what I want to say is, don't we have the right, let me ask that, don't we have the right to change our minds? Why do we expect that they can't either?
Maybe this ties back into, just to keep the peace, you let whatever's fly and slide, if whether their futures didn't align with yours or anything else. You went along with it to keep the peace, even though you wanted to go. So sometimes when those very same people switch on you first, it's just like, hold on, motherfucker. I stuck past you. I did this and there. So it gives you the right. But then some people just cannot handle your baggage that you might not knowingly brought into the next relationship. But they're like, you know what, I'm out. This is beyond my control. I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes you just kind of start looking at people like, well, I stuck through that shit, why can't you stick through it? Not realizing all you're doing with that is just repeating the cycle.
Yeah. And it goes back to where in a relationship where you are not thinking about the individual person where they're at, but you're thinking about where they could be. You're thinking about the possibility of what it could be, and they're not following in line with that plan. You're like, what are you talking about? That's not a plan. But it's never really actual. It's not actual. You gotta come back to earth, you know. Think about the now.
One of the things that I'm gonna just be real, I still need to learn is that whole, like, I want to be in love. I want to be in love. I want to be ooey gooey, this and that, and it not be like it's just sexual. Like, I want this knight in shining armor type of thing. I had to like really sit down with myself, because in reality, I know that there are things that I have to do, I have to be, I have to present in order to get that. But in my mind, I don't have to do any of that. The guy just falls in love. He just does this and that, and it's just like, woo, you sweep me off my feet. You come to my job. You woo me. You got roses. Well, I don't do the roses thing, but you know, that's allergy related. They're still beautiful to me, but you know, like, I'm expecting you to have all this understanding of me as a woman. What turns me on, what turns me off, what's romantic, what's not romantic. And I had to recognize the person that I was dealing with was not. Now this is where we get into the love language. His love language is different than mine. And what I thought would have been like the romanticness and the sort of like, not you read my mind, but maybe it's an act of service too. I don't know, but just that whole thing where like you understand that certain things I'm very sentimental about, like the text messages. Like, if you started doing that daily, nigga, what you switch up for? Because I like that. And I tell you, I like that. That's something that's so, you know, special to me. And then you switch doing it. It's like, nigga, are you trying to break the relationship up? Are you trying to switch up on purpose so now that I can say, hey, this is not working? Or were you never that type to begin with and you were trying to compromise? And I didn't acknowledge that. So then it's like, are we judging our potentials or our mates or whatever on a different caliber than we judge ourselves? Which is something that I think I have done. So I'm admitting to that.
Yeah.
Like, I still have a high caliber that I judge. Like, I still have high standards for myself, but I think there's the same high standards that I have for someone else, but that I expect that they have of themselves too. And they don't even consider that on the spectrum of importance or things like that. So when we are talking about the compromise and are we used to get in our way, like when we're talking about, oh, no, I'm sorry. I said, do we listen effectively? I'm looking at my questions and I'm trying to kind of flow with it. Do we listen effectively? So we're quick to, no, I'm not going to say we, I'm going to say I'm quick to, when I'm upset about something, not necessarily listening to your point of view, because I'm listening to argue my point. Now, how guilty are we of that when it comes to communication?
Very. I'm very guilty of that.
Like, we already have our answer made up, and you cannot detour from that answer because, you know what I mean? Even whatever he's saying, you're going to still have your answer prepared. And you ain't listening to what he said.
Yeah. That's the big one. Because, like, when someone says that, man or woman, you need to listen to what I say. Sometimes you really don't know if they're saying that from a place of, no, listen, because you're not hearing me, versus what I say goes, that's it. So if I say you need to do this or this is you, then that's it. Sometimes you really don't know. So you might just be ready to respond because you're just in defense mode. To me. So it's like, but yeah, sometimes I am like, listen, I'm pissed off. Nothing you say matters. You know, I'm not going to tell you that, but I mean, if I shut down, that's me saying, well, you can talk till your face turns blue, but that's how I am sometimes. But I know it's wrong.
I'm very open-minded. Like I'm gonna hear you out. I'm gonna listen to what you gotta say, but you better make it make sense. Because if you don't make it make sense, I'm gonna shut down completely. I'm gonna lose all interest. I don't even want to talk to you. I'm gone. I'm done. Like, just make it make sense. Don't tell me no lie, because I can see. I read body language. I see it. Like, don't lie to me. Just tell me the truth. It'll be easier. Just come with it. Don't play with it, because then it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, I think it. Okay. To be fair, if I'm dealing with somebody who is being fair or seems like they are being fair with me, and I've never had to question their integrity on anything, I've never had to question anything like that, then I'm more accepting of what they have to say. But if I've ever had to question it, then you're already on the shit list. While we're talking about why you shouldn't be on the shit list. But, and I remember in the relationship that there was something that he said that had to do with, I already don't believe him, or I already had it made up that he's lying about whatever it is, because I voiced that opinion before about what he was talking about. And the other part of it is it proved to be true, because this was something he said a while ago that then he didn't remember he said to me. And when I brought it up as a fact, because I thought it was a fact, then it was turned around like, I never said that. Yeah, you did. I pinpoint date, time, what was happening, whatever. You did. So I took that as the truth. So now there's a pattern of things that you've lied about. And not lied about like I intentionally went to find that you were lying about it. It was me thinking whatever you said was the truth. And now, little by little, it's starting to tear at my trust with you. So when I get to that point, that's when I don't listen. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I listen and give everybody the benefit of a doubt all the time. But once that happens, I stop giving you the benefit of a doubt. Now I'm ready to find the truth, because I feel like it's not in what you're saying. So,
yes.
I know that that's not necessarily the best way to do it, but it's like I trust you until I can't trust you. And I start off trusting somebody before distrust comes in, which I'm learning I have to give them what they give me. Not necessarily keep that same energy or reciprocate the negative energy, but if you're giving me 50, I'm gonna give you 50. If you're giving me 60, I'm gonna give you 60. Not that it has to match, but I'm saying the amount of effort, I'll say it like that, effort, not necessarily a percentage. But if you're putting in effort to get to know me, I'm putting in effort to get to know you. If you're putting in effort to learn my body, I'm putting in effort to learn your body. What I've noticed is different intervals. Like I will do wifely things for niggas who didn't ask for wifely duties. They didn't ask for it. But I'm very wifely. Even though I talk my shit, even though I whatever. 9 to 5 back behind the scenes, I am very, very wifely. And that can turn off guys that are not ready for wives. And they're not looking for a serious commitment, but I'm giving them serious commitment vibes. You know, and it's like, this is probably the realest I've ever gotten on this show without telling y'all my business. But I know it's stuff that I have to fix, because it's not just they're doing this, they're doing that. It's stuff I'm doing where it's like I'm giving them more than they giving me. Then I'm mad that they ain't filling my cup up like I done poured shit over in there. But I'm mad about it. It's like, well, they ain't feeling you.
You're mad about it because what you're doing it's not coming from, so let me do this so I can keep you. it's really coming because that's how your heart is.
Yeah, but I've had to
That's
learn.
how your heart.
Yeah,
Not to give to everybody. Yep.
Exactly. Because it's past. It is past the whole thing about when we're talking about compromise. It's not even like I didn't even come to the table with, okay, can you do this and then I'll do that. I came to the table with, I'm making the table, baby, here's this, here's that. You want this? Okay, you're allergic to that. Okay, I'm not going to cook this. I'm not going to do that. Okay, you need this time of day? Okay. I need to change my schedule for this, and this. He never asked for that shit.
That's
you know, and I'm just like, huh, okay.
Damn.
You know, like, damn, okay, I overdid that shit. I overshot that.
Hell yeah.
Time.
Oh my God.
So,
but I can't bow down. That's just who I am. I need to match somebody on my same energy wave. That's just who I am. I can't change.
But okay, Mel, and I get that. But do you think that you should change it though? Like depending on who you're dealing with?
No, I if they can't match my energy, then I can't deal with them because I can't change who I am for something. That's like me downing myself to, match their level.
But okay, but let me play devil's advocate here. When you say you can't change yourself because that's just who you are, what if that man says the same thing? Like, what if it is that we should change some things of ourselves because maybe it is too much in terms of we're not getting what's reciprocated, right?
Yeah.
Like if he's half-assing,
I can't, because then I'm gonna be depleted. My cup's gonna be pouring out, and I'm not gonna have nothing pouring back in, and then I'm gonna lose myself. Then I'm not gonna be able to do the things that I need to do. So I can't be with him. I just gotta leave him and fill my cup and just be done with that situation because I'm who I am, and I can't change that. But I can change my situation. I can move on. You can change
your situation, but okay. Here's where I think we have to think about this a little bit more, right? Because when you say I can't change who I am, but you can, for the better. So it's not like you're saying I'm perfect. I don't need to change anything of myself in myself. But we're saying like, but what do we need to correct? Because there were errors that we made in the past relationships.
Yeah.
And I'm saying ships as plural because we make mistakes. Plural.
Yeah.
But in the past relationships, there are things that we need to change that maybe we were saying, that's me. That's how I roll. That's this and that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can change those things. I mean, like, I can't change the way I care for you. I can't change the way my acts of service because that's my love language. But I can change how I respond or to certain things. Like, I can change those type of behaviors. But, like, I can't change like my core values and beliefs. That's what I'm trying to say.
I can understand that, but love language is different. Because love language, I think it changes with the situation too.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're in a box with that. But I'm not picking. I'm just saying, like, I think we also have to make sure we're not putting ourselves in a box. Like, we're a growing woman, right? And even though we're adults, we're still growing in our understanding of ourselves, what we like, what we don't like. You know what I mean? What we found works for us, what we found doesn't. So I think we should be willing to change, but not just because of this guy. Yeah. But what if they bring up something that we need to change? And it's been brought up before. And it's been a repeated, this is something you need to change. Like, that's when, like, our shit is brought to us. How do we deal with it? How do we discern that this is something I need to fix? He is right, but I don't want to tell him because right now we in the middle of an argument and he was talking some other shit and he brought up something, that is my crutch. But he brought it up to knock me down. However, what he said was legit. He just used it as a jab, right? How do we deal with that?
It's your girl, Jamie Reed Poetry, host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, Jamie Reed Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedyrtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty.
How do we deal with that?
Self-evaluate. Take some
B,
time
what do you? You got the look like,
Oh.
I don't know.
Who, me?
I was saying Brandy. Yeah, I was saying B.
Oh, no, I was listening to her talk. I was listening. I was letting her talk. I was listening to what she was saying.
Oh, okay. But do you agree? If they bring it up, if they bring some shit up.
If they bring it up,
you?
if it comes up in the middle of an argument, but you know.
Right.
If they bring it up in the middle of an argument, but it's not like this explosive, like degrading argument, but it's something that they've been holding on to, and then they let it out, and you sit back like, okay, you know. But if you're just bringing up, we're just having casual conversation, you're bringing it up as jokes, but you're really being low-key hurtful about it.
Oh, no.
That's when I'm not going to take in consideration what you're saying. My insecurity might, because I don't want to seem whatever. But if it's like somebody that you know is not, they don't normally bring it up, and now that you guys are in this moment, like, every time they get mad, you come here, you do this, and you sit back like, okay. But you know, if it's somebody that I'm really wanting to build with, or even just, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna see, were you a little crazy? Did you have to let him know you was gonna stab him when y'all get done? You know,
right.
It just depends. Yeah, it depends. Like, I will now in my healing journey, if somebody brings up something that I'm doing wrong, I'm gonna look at it. Because just because I look at it doesn't mean I have to agree with it. I could be like, "Are you tripping?"
So what? Something I'm learning now is I want to deal with somebody who fights fair, but at the same time, I want to deal with somebody who takes into consideration how to bring up my shit to me. Because how you bring it up to me, I think, also impacts how I receive it. But you're not responsible for how I receive something if you took consideration into how you said it and presented it, and I still took offense to it. So there's a balance with that. But when I think about what I want in a relationship for the guy, you know, or for the mate, is to have that kind of consideration in a fight or in an argument, in a disagreement, like taking consideration who I am, how I take things, and present it to me in the best possible fashion. Generally, when somebody takes time to consider that and really truly say it in the best way possible, I can receive it pretty well these days. Now, if there's a discernment that kind of kicks in where it's like, now you didn't even think about what you said before you said it, because it came out like shit. It came out like, diarrhea out your mouth. So we understand that you didn't consider what you were saying before you said it. And I say we, me, myself, and I, not there's different people around or personalities even. But I understood that you didn't take consideration into what you said. And then, perfect example, my past relationship, I had a situation where I thought he was being so thoughtful in whatever he did, right? He did this big thoughtful thing, and come to find out, he was like, no, it's because I was hungry. Or it's because I was, it was something like, I'm like, oh, you thought so much of me to get this or do that. And he was like, nah, I mean, like, we got it for free at work. What? You know, like, it was a lot of stuff that I was like, oh my God, you know, this is so romantic. He thought this and da-da-da-da-da. And then I slowly but surely would find out, like, nah, he wasn't doing that out of like no romantic type of vibe. He did that because it was convenient. And that's the only reason why, or whatever, it was a benefit to him. It wasn't to benefit me. And I don't know how to say I need to take things differently or stop putting, I think that's where we talk about you putting more into it than it is. Like, it is what it is versus what you're trying to make it be. And that's where I have to recognize that that's what I got to change about myself, because he's not a romantic person. I know that there's no romantic bone in his body, yet I'm thinking that he did something out of some sort of sweet romantic gesture, and it wasn't anything like that. Like, you take me into a store, we're looking at all these different things and blah, blah, blah. And I mentioned, hey, I like this thing. And I'm like, well, my birthday's coming up. Maybe, you know, you're going to get this and surprise me. No, I got surprised with some food. And I'm like, okay, but I did say, you know, but it was early on in the relationship. So then there's that whole point of, when do you start getting gifts? You know, when you start making it be that thing where you're getting gifts for your mate and things like that. Oh, and to me, it was enough time. You know what I mean? So, like, we think about stuff like when you looking at, can they bring, you know, shit to the table that you're not like, well, okay, I'm not a romantic person, you knew that. So why are you thinking that I'm gonna do this and do that? Why would I not think that? You know, it's kind of like, why, what? You know, but that was him bringing the shit to me. Like, well, I already told you I'm not this way. Like, I don't think like that. So then why are you putting that in there when that's not what it is? Shit, it was brought to me. It's like, whoa, okay, yeah. You right. And then if you were in this same situation, how would you do it? Would you think this way, or would you do this? Would you accept that? And I say, yeah, I would. But then I'm like, but it ain't me in the situation, it's you. So now I got to think about, okay. Be good. The light was going some ways. I thought we was in the Little Mermaid for a second.
I'm knocked over. Sorry, my bad. I was gonna drop my water, so I had to catch it. My bad, y'all.
It's okay. It just started waving. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It took me off of mine. But so like when we talk about, when we're talking about, okay, if they giving us our shit back to us, that's constructive criticism. But do we think we're able to accept constructive criticism, or how do we accept it when it comes to our table? Whether it's in a job, whether it's in a friendship, whether it's in your kids coming to you about something, how do we accept it? Like, is that something we have issues with?
I am not trying to make every question we talk about me, but I tell you, this 2-part series spoke to me. But because as a child, I grew up thinking I was not heard. I grew up, if anything bothered me, to me, especially as an adult with my parents, it felt like fuck you. With my child's father, it felt like fuck you. With anybody I dealt with, it felt like fuck you. So this last time, I started noticing things where it's like, if he said something to me, anybody this point, even my daughter, because I've always told my daughter, you are going to grow up and realize sometime in your life, and it's just going to pop in your head, I did something to you, just crushed you. I want you to come tell me that, because, and it's going to hurt, but like I tell anybody, even if he says something, at this point, I'm like, what do I look like not letting you be heard, and me acknowledging that what you're saying and doing is valid, because I was never validated. So it makes me, before it's like, I'm not trying to hear that. No, but now that I'm trying to grow and make meaningful relationships with anybody, now I sit back like, that was fucked up what you said, but it probably was really fucked up that I took it there, you know, because I'm the one that before I get hurt, I will go to hell with whatever I have to say, because I felt like he was going low. So when I start seeing like how, one, I was hurting people, and two, how people just cut me off. Now I'm sitting here after all the smoke and cleared, like I'm by myself. As much as I hate hearing criticism, I do want to be a better person. And that's not my intention to hurt people. So if you tell me I might be mad, might not talk for days, like you don't have to say all that. You know, if you want to, if you want to make meaning bond for relationships, like with, you know, with me and my mother, me and my parents, our relationship, it tried. I felt like I wasn't hurt, especially with my father. So I know for a fact when my daughter comes and tells me, not at that moment, like, you're a child, go sit down. But I want her to be able to come back and tell me that later, like, mommy, that she can be an adult. That was fucked up. Okay, I'm sorry. So it's like, for me, it's like, I don't want to hear it, but I have to. Do I want to salvage this relationship? But in a healthy way, but at the same time, be prepared. Don't let them just like put it on you. Because clearly they may have done something, not your child, but they may have done something where you like, I had to cut your throat because I'm a Scorpio. So if you do something I think I'm going to sting the fuck out of you. So
yeah, the cut your throat part is a little bit different because they can't really,
well, you know, not like cut your throat, but you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to go for the jugular with my words or with my actions. Yeah, you know. Yeah, that type of thing. Yeah, I should have used better wording, but
no. Yeah.
This day and age, I should have used my words better. But like I said, I'm not trying to internalize everything we're talking about, but literally I'm speaking from experience in both of these episodes because God knows I am I'm good for going below the belt. I'm good. I'm very good.
What about you, Mel?
Well, I think in a relationship, any relationship, work relationship, friendship, growth is uncomfortable. In order to grow, you gotta go through those uncomfortable moments. As long as you got somebody that's able to articulate that to you in a respectful way, and they're coming from a good place, then and also like yesterday we talked about come up with resolutions. Don't just tell me where I'm faulty at. Don't just tell me how bad I am. Tell me what can I do better. Like, put a spin on it, make it a positive thing so that I can receive it better and see. Also, like, evaluate where I'm at the time, like what I'm going through. Don't just bring up something and I just lost my job yesterday or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just it all, and watch your body language. It's a whole lot that goes into it, but if you come correctly, then I think it'll be effective for us to get through whatever.
Yeah, I think when we talk about in the job, or not the job market rather, but at the 9 to 5, I think I look for that because I want to grow into a better, not necessarily a better employee, but a better leader. I never say employee in my job because I've always looked at myself as a business owner, and I've always kind of carried myself like that even in my job. And a lot of my managers will say the same thing, like, you need to be in manager roles and things like that. I don't want to be. I want to be a better leader though. And I think a leader in every regard, even in your home. Like I talk to my children about, like, come to me, let me know when I'm fucking up. I'm gonna let you know when you fucking up too. And I kind of let that door be open. And they brought some things to my attention where I'm like, oh, at the time I'm not receiving it well, or I'm trying to be parenty, and you corrected me. I can't be parenty, So if I'm trying to be wifely in another situation and you're correcting me, it's like, hold on, wait a minute, no, because I'm over here trying to be a parent and I'm trying to do this and that and da for you, but I'm not hearing what your concerns are. I'm not hearing what your feelings are about the situation. And in the flip of it, on a relationship or on a boyfriend, girlfriend, intimate relationship side, I'm looking at, okay, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to make you feel good about your day and da. And I'm asking you about your day and all this other stuff, and you don't want to talk about it. I'm taking offense to it. And it's like, wait. And you're saying, well, I don't want to talk about my day. Why do I have to? I don't feel like talking. Why are you trying to make me talk? And I'm like, but babe, I feel like you need to talk about your day and da. And I'm not receiving it because I'm not recognizing you don't want to talk about your day. Right now, this is not a good time for you. And somebody even correcting you in that situation, and you're like, well, but I'm trying to. You're like, but listen to me, hear me. Let me explain, why I feel like you're not doing this or that right, or for me, that doesn't work. Like for me, if I'm angry, don't come touching me and hugging me. I'm not healed. I'm not that healed version of myself where I can just be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's no big deal. No, don't touch me. I don't know if I'm
sounding like a no limit soldier. Leave me alone.
But yeah, like give me time to let me recalibrate. I'm not a irate, angry person, but if I am angry and I'm emotional, especially emotional, then it's like, listen, like even the criticism, you got to chill out, because I'm getting ready to snap. And I don't snap in, like I said, in a abusive kind of way or anything like that. But I do have a emotional thing where it's like, don't let me cool off, let me relax, let me come back to this
back
situation
up for a little bit.
when I'm cooled off, and then that criticism I can then now consider and think about and see how, okay, that is something that my child has brought to my attention, or that is something that my mate has brought to my attention. Let me determine if that's something I need to correct. And a lot of times you've heard it before. If it's something you need to correct, to be honest, you've heard it in other situations. You don't have it. The kid might be bringing it up to you, but you heard it at the job. You heard it at, your club meeting or whatever. You heard it at different places where you've had people who are, family and friends or whatever the case may be, saying that same thing. So when it starts to come back around and I start to see like, okay, it ain't just her saying this, it ain't just him saying this, this is something that I see I need to correct. And then the criticism is handled in a better, you kind of take it a little bit better.
Because a lot of times it's just brought to your attention in different aspects where you finally one day sit down, like, 'cause I know there's some instances where I popped off at home, work, the person I'm dealing with, everything, and it's like I heard from everybody. It's just like, I sit back like
and you have to like think about the other side of it. Is like when you're going through something traumatic and you're in a relationship, right? You can't always share that trauma with that person. You can't. Sometimes you're not at the right level of the relationship where you need to be talking to them about this drama that you're dealing with, or this trauma that you're dealing with. And you feel like, well, this is your mate. Am I hitting the nail on the head? You feel like this is your mate. I should be able to tell him.
Jesus.
No. Oh,
We
no.
might be a part 3 after this.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, like, you feel like you should be able to tell them, but you're not at that level in your relationship.
Not at
Boy,
all.
And I'm very,
this about to be part 6, 7, and 8. 'Cause right here, I promise you.
I'm very
Continue.
much I'm very much that woman that feels like I can talk to my mate about this and that, and he ain't the shit that I'm talking about. And I can talk about it, and he like, oh man, that's fucked up, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you should. I don't even know. Then it's like,
or if they don't talk, because you're also like, why aren't you talking to me? Why aren't you telling me what's wrong? But you have no idea what level of trauma they're dealing with. Where
oh yeah, on the flip side of it.
One day I might tell my story, but it came to light a lot of traumatic events someone was going through and why they wouldn't talk to me. When they came out, I was sitting back like, it wasn't judgmental, but I was just like, I need to give you the number to my therapist. Like,
and we done already kind of touched on the trust issues and the anger management, but like these are also things that oh man, back in the day I was not the one you wanted to make angry, and I'm not even saying it. I don't know. I beat people's asses for a living and all of this stuff. Oh, yeah. I was the petty. I was the one that's waiting for
the opportunity.
A situation. Yeah, opportunity in space. I was that person. And in the
back of your mind, you're just like on site. So let's go. Say it.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm doing all kind of stuff that I can't say on YouTube because I don't want to get banned. But I'm doing all kind of stuff in my mind, you know, when I'm upset and angry. And and I had to also check that part of it because your mindset will fuck with your real life
emotions
too, and you will add stuff onto that relationship that shouldn't be. Or you'll take something so personal that now you're in defense mode and he don't even know why you in defense of whatever.
Oh my God.
And
I'm sorry.
and I will say, no, you're good. And I will say, like, in my past relationship, did I justify negative behavior? So like it wasn't negative behavior, but I would do this whole thing where, okay, I'm not even about to throw myself out there like that, but what I'm gonna say is every woman is different to every man is different to every woman. Some men bring out different sides to women, right? And a different side was brought out of me in my past relationship that I never had been like that before with anyone else. And because that was a new side of myself, I felt like, oh, this is the one. This is definitely the one. And bringing out that side of me feeling, what's the word? I felt so comfortable that I could share my flaws with this guy. And
only for it to be used as ammunition later. Jesus.
Well, it wasn't. Let me say it wasn't necessarily used as ammunition later, but to feel like that is the one, and they're steadily telling you, but do you know it? They're telling you that they're not the one, but they're also questioning how you know you really want to be with me for the rest of your life, or how you know you really like this, or how you know I'm that nigga. Like, oh, okay, I don't know, but I'm still trying to get to know. And I made statements like that, and when I tell you, I was about to say something else. When I tell you that guy really brought out a different side to me, it hurt when he broke up with me. It hurt, you know, and then that's another thing. Like when you're broken up with and you're the one that wanted to be the one to do the breaking, it's like, oh, this is fucked up. Now my pride is fucked up on top of my feelings, on top of everything else. So when I sat down and thought about what could you have done in that relationship to make it be different, wasn't anything I could do, because your mind is already set. Your mind is already made up. And I had my issues, I think, within the relationship. I know I did. We're both, when you deal with somebody who's both an independent just independent, very independent of, they didn't have this, do that, they did this, did that, they did for themselves, they didn't have anybody doing this and doing that, or so they think. When I hear the backstory, I kind of know, you had a lot more help than you say, but I get it. It's kind of like how Drake be trying to make it seem like he came from the bottom. Now we hear he ain't never came from no bottom, according to the reality of things. But when you're trying to kind of assume that situation or assume that position in your life, like you've done this and you've had to come from these different parts, and it's like, no, you haven't. But that does not take away that they feel independent because of this and that, and they're always doing this and that for themselves. So bringing somebody else into the picture seems like you're being selfish, or you're not being selfish at this point. So now you feel like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm not being selfish, I have somebody in the relationship, all that type of stuff, but you're not dealing with whatever your hyper independence is. Because like I have a lot of hyper independence about certain things that I had to learn to let go of. But then I did, and it still wasn't the right one. That's what I wanted to say. I'm gonna wrap back around to what the fuck I was trying to say. Because I'm like, come on. You went off. The fact that you did it for the wrong person does not mean that you don't not do it for the next person. Or you do not do it for the next person. Let me say it like that. Let me say, you can, it's like you go to the gym. You built the muscle up. Don't stop building that muscle. Don't keep on perfecting what you're doing, but just do it for the right person. So now we need to make sure we have discernment about who that right person is, right? But we got to also have our shit straight, because I think if you don't have your shit straight, you got a bunch of clouds and so on and so forth going on that you can't even see, what's in front of you, whether it's the right one or the wrong one. You got so many clouds of your own stuff, and I don't want to be that woman going into the next situation. So am I at that point? Fuck no. I'm not at that point where I can be in a healthy relationship, because I know that there are things I need to correct of myself, and it brought out a lot of that in my past relationship. Now it's not the ton of shit, like I've corrected stuff going into that relationship, so I didn't take so much baggage, let me say that. And can you say, Mel, that you've taken the time to check the baggage that you do have, so that you don't bring that into the next relationship?
Yes, I've checked the baggage. But at this point, it's like I'm not even interested in entertaining anything that doesn't. I'm not interested. I'm just focused on me right now. I'm not interested in entertaining anything that's outside of what matches my vibe and my energy. I get bored sometimes and I might talk to somebody, but I can't take nobody serious. I can't.
Do you think that's because there's parts of you that's unhealed still, or do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, shit. Nail on the head, Brandy. What about you? Are you healed enough to go into a healthy relationship, or do you feel like there's things you need to straighten up to be in a healthy?
Well, I feel like there's things that needs to be straightened up. From where I was to now, I can definitely see the healing. From 2019, Brandy, to getting feelings truly hurt, to finding somebody thinking I was healed, to 2023, Brandy, Complete difference. I still have baggage, but I'm learning to identify, is this really a problem or is this your baggage? Because he's not responsible for my triggers and the baggage. Now, once he finds out, if you keep going, okay. But if it's just something you just doing regular, like another example, sometimes the person I'm dealing with, sometimes he'll just completely shut down with something he's got going on. The unhealed me was taking that as, you're abandoning me.
Mm-hmm.
You're abandoning me. I'm going to be transparent, Jay. When you and I were talking, there was times that I wasn't feeling well enough to make it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So then, we would talk about how we're going to have this guest coming in, and unknowingly, I was getting defensive, and I wasn't paying attention to that. But it wasn't your responsibility to assure me I wasn't getting. I think deep down, unconsciously, I thought I was getting replaced. But deep down, I just couldn't make it. One day I'll talk about what I've got going on, but some days I'm just not feeling well. Or some days I just got too much going on where it's like medically I need to lay down. So sometimes, is it really my baggage or just a trigger that I need to work on, because that part of me is unhealed? Like I said, from 4 years ago, Brandy, to now. Because back then, Jay, you know me over 20-something years almost. I'm a firecracker. I am a irrational firecracker. So to be able to sit here now, I'm like, all right, I did take that too far. I do need to sit down and think about that. You need to calm down, because nobody's saying anything. That's what your brain is wiring. You've been wired to think that. But that's not what's going on, because these people are not here to hurt you. The people that are there to hurt you, you've already axed out. But you got to understand, you're not there anymore. So yeah, I still have a lot of baggage I need to unpack, but that's not saying I don't deserve, because I'm still unpacking it. That doesn't say I don't deserve to start working towards with somebody that healthy relationship. Because while you're working on your baggage, they might be working on theirs too. So I'm not gonna say that I don't deserve to find somebody to work towards a healthy one. But
the heal. So there are. I personally think, and to wrap up the show, I personally think that there are healed parts of yourself that can be in a relationship where you all are healing, but you all have to be able to recognize who needs the healing. Well, and typically it's us, as in both of us, but be at a point where you're ready to work. Like I was talking about in the last show, you're ready to work, and it's going to be work. You got your boots on, you got your bag, you got your lunch, you got everything that you need to prepare for this work day, because it's going to be a work day. And I think you got to find somebody. I'm not going to say you got to. Let me not say you got to. You don't got to do what you don't want to do. But find somebody who has those things healed of themselves, but that can complement what you need healed of you. And then the stuff that you have healed can complement what they need healed of them. I think that's what is going to be like the healthy relationship. Because I don't think there's a perfect relationship. I think you're always going to be healing from something. There's always got to be some work to be done in order for the relationship to be successful. But it can be successful once you've gotten to certain parts that you've corrected together. So if they're not really ready to work, if they don't see that you're worthy of the work, then I think you can't really go any further with that person. So that's my 2 cents. I'm J. Marie Poetry, host of the Dirty Pleasure Show and owner of Dirty Words Apparel. I'm getting better at cutting this shit off on time. We women at best. But anyway, I am the host of the Dirty Pleasure Show and owner of Dirty Words Apparel. Check out dirtywordapparel.com for all your hoodies, hats, and tees. My co-host, Brandy.
I'm Brandy. I am the co-host of Dirty Pleasure Show, owner of the BK Pleasure Palace, Bedroom Candy Products. My headline says what my website is. So hit me up for all your toys and makeup needs. And
Okay.
Mel?
All right. And Mel, anything you wanted to promote, advertise before we get out of here? Okay. You do. She got stuff in the works because I know her. She got stuff in the works. So she don't speak about it before it's actually, out. So we gonna leave it there because I know she got a lot of things in the works. But from all of us here at the Dirty Pleasure Show, today's show, we thank you all for tuning in. We definitely hope you like, follow, and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube at the Dirty Pleasure Show and thedirtypleasureshow.com for all of your social media contact information that you need from us.
This is your girl, Jamie Reed Poetry, host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, J. Marie Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedirtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty.